Hi, I'm Nina with Avid and today I'm going to be doing a complete walkthrough on how to get started with the Avid ES41 chamber vacuum sealer. I'm going to encourage you to watch the video all the way through to make sure that you have all the information you need to get started. Now remember, this sealer is very heavy, so you may need help getting it unpacked, and be sure to put it on a very sturdy countertop or table. Let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, once your sealer is unpacked, now we're going to dive into the chamber. We're going to go ahead and open the lid. You'll take out your user manual as well as your maintenance kit. This has all the parts you need if you have to do any maintenance on your sealer, so make sure to keep this in a safe space. Also included is a filler plate. The filler plate is used to occupy space in the chamber. Specifically, if you're vacuum sealing smaller items, it helps reduce the amount of vacuum time. We'll go ahead and place this back in the chamber, and then next we're going to show you how to check the oil on the chamber before we vacuum seal our very first item. Let's go. All right, the very first thing that we have to do before we can get started using this chamber vacuum sealer is to check the oil level, since this is an oil chamber vacuum machine. Now, the sealer was shipped with oil already in it, so it should be good to go unless you had any spillage of the oil during transportation. It's not a big deal. Just go ahead and wipe up any excess oil that could have leaked out during transit. And then we'll go ahead and check the oil level to see if it needs to be topped off. So to check the oil level, there is an oil viewing window in the bottom left-hand backside of the sealer. There is a minimum and maximum oil level line that you can use as reference. And then to check the oil, you're gonna look for the little bubble that's in the oil. That's gonna show the top level of oil in the sealer. It's kind of hard to see because the oil is clear, but that bubble will indicate where it is. So as long as it falls in between the min and max line, you are good to go. If for some reason that oil is below the minimum level, we want to go ahead and top it off before you get started. Now, if you need instructions on how to do that, just go ahead and hop on over to our other video of how to add oil to the ES41 chamber vacuum sealer. If the oil level is good to go, then let's go ahead and move forward on running the pump conditioning program. All right, now that we've checked the oil on the sealer, we're gonna go ahead and plug in the power cord, and then we're gonna open the lid by lowering the bail, and the lid will automatically open. And then we're gonna turn on the power by pressing the power button on the left-hand side of the control panel. When the sealer turns on, it will default to the vacuum time setting. But first, before we run a vacuum cycle, we want to make sure to run a pump conditioning program. This is going to lubricate the pump as well as all of the components to make sure that it's running at peak performance from the get-go. It's very important that you do this before you run any vacuum cycle. So all you have to do is press the pump conditioning program button. It has the little oil droplets on the button. Press that, you'll get the C, which means pump conditioning program, and then all you have to do is close the lid and it will automatically start. This program is about 15 minutes long, so hang tight and we'll be back to calibrate our sealer. Okay, now that we've run the pump conditioning program, we're gonna go ahead and go through a calibration process to set the vacuum time, the seal time, and make sure that you're confident to vacuum seal your very first bag. So we're going to use one of the sample bags that was included with your sealer, as well as the squishy avocado. We'll go ahead and load it in the bag, and then we're gonna place it in the chamber with the filler plate. So all you have to do is lay the opening of the bag over the seal bar and make sure the bag is nice and flat over the seal bar and in the chamber. to make sure that you get a nice seal on your bag. Now, we're gonna go ahead and set the vacuum time. So to change from seal to vacuum time settings, you're gonna use the plus and down button. So this is gonna switch between the seal time and vacuum time settings. So for vacuum time, make sure the light is illuminated, and then we're gonna press the plus or the minus button to adjust that vacuum time setting. So for this instance, we're just going to go ahead with a vacuum time setting of 50, and then we're going to go ahead and switch to the seal mode. And for Avid Armor bags, we recommend a seal time setting of 1. If you're going to be using a thicker bag or a Mylar type bag, you can adjust this to a higher setting to accommodate that thicker bag. So then you adjust, again, press the plus or minus to adjust the seal time, but we're gonna leave it right at 1. And then all we have to do, now that we have our vacuum and seal time setting set, all we have to do is close the lid. It's gonna automatically go through the entire process, super easy and super simple. So let's go ahead. It's a 50-second vacuum cycle. So if at any time during the vacuum cycle you want to stop and abort the entire process, all you have to do is press this stop button. Now, if you want to stop the vacuum pump and go ahead and go into a seal mode, you would press the stop vacuum button. This is gonna go ahead and create a seal on the bag. So we'll wait for this to finish the vacuum pump, and then it's gonna go into seal mode. So we have about 5 seconds left, and you'll see it go into the seal mode. And it's gonna seal the bag for 1 second. And then once it seals the bag, it's gonna put all the air back into the chamber and cause that vacuum seal. The lid will automatically open as soon as it's complete, and then all we have to do is remove our bag, make sure that the seal is nice and consistent all the way across, and now we have vacuum sealed our very first package. Now, all you have to do is load up your next bag. Remember, anytime that you close the lid, it's gonna automatically go into the vacuum cycle. So, if you're done using the sealer and you don't wanna run any more vacuum cycles, you're gonna wanna power off the sealer to turn it off, and then you can close the lid and lift up the bale to move it to storage. All right, that's it. That's everything you need to know to get started using your Avid Armor ES41 chamber vacuum sealer. If you still have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out and we are happy to help.